Hello, everybody. My name is Ed McClements. I'm a tax and financial planner and realtor here in Southern California. And in the next 10 minutes or less, I want to discuss both the problems of a family getting a notice of default on their property and, more importantly, perhaps, the solution to that major problem that they're facing. We're going to look at a few slides together, and I hope this will be very helpful in giving you very critical and needed information to prevent your family who may have received this NOD notice from a short sale or a foreclosure or even a bankruptcy. Take me a moment as I shift over to the other screen. And here we have the first screen I'd like to go over with you. And it's really showing us that the real estate crisis hasn't ended for thousands of families. And that's just here in Southern California area alone. Many families, more than 1,000 between San Diego and Los Angeles, currently have a notice of default, an NOD, on their property. They're facing either a short sale or foreclosure by the bank on their property. When you get such a notice, sometimes you're receiving this for the very first time, and it certainly is threatening. It makes us all want to not go to our door and pull the curtains and be very fearful of what's going to happen next. Well, the next thing is that the bank will continue, as payments are not made, to increase the amount that you're behind, that NOD amount. And at a point in time, they will foreclose on your property. That's the worst possible set of circumstances for your family, because you not only lose a home, but you lose the credit score that makes it even difficult to rent a home in the future. We have some excellent solutions for that kind of a problem. We specialize in that kind of set of circumstances. And the solution that we're going to be talking about is really an AITD. That stands for an all-inclusive trust deed. So we're going to look at a few things together. But just notice right here on this one foreclosure map, all these little green dots with a P in them. The P stands for pre-foreclosure. And that's just in our little area between Ladera Ranch and Lake Forest. And that's a current listing that's been done here in the last 10 days or so, approximately. Let's look at what this solution is. The NOD is the problem. It means that you, the owner of the property, truly has to take some positive actions to make that problem go away. And probably for most families, the solution is finding a buyer for your home who's interested in using an AITD method to purchase your home. And actually, they're purchasing the mortgage at the same time. In the graphic here below, we're seeing here's the problem. Homes that have an NOD that are facing foreclosure or short sale or even bankruptcy. We can save those families from experiencing that bad set of circumstances by matching it up with a buyer who truly has the funds to immediately come in, and they will pay off whatever amount you owe the bank. Maybe as little as $10,000 or maybe more than $100,000. We have buyers in each category that will come in and pay off that notice of default, stopping the foreclosure action by the bank, and purchase your home for the full market value that it has today. And they will do that all in a matter of 30 days or less. The good news is really also shown down here on the bottom item, where there is a new tax law that many families are unaware of, that when you do sell a home that you've lived in for 2 years or longer, if you have a profit on that home, the first up to $500,000 is completely free of taxes under the tax law that was passed in 1997. That is great news. This also is going to be important after selling your home and maybe leasing for a very short period. You also will be able to use an AITD to purchase your next home, not having to wait for years to qualify for a conventional mortgage. There's 3 steps to wealth, really, that as a tax planner, I would encourage you to be aware of. Number 1 is the pre-foreclosure tax facts, is that over 1,500 homes in Orange County, Los Angeles, Riverside are now facing that notice of default and have an NOD filed against their home. So what is this AITD purchase? It's something, a standard purchase method that's been used for the last more than 30 years. And it's a standard form that's used and approved by the California Department of Real Estate. But it has unique benefits to it because the buyer in buying your home does not have to prove any credit score. They do not have to have a bank approval. They do not have to have proof of income. That's very important for people that are self-employed who never can have the evidence of paying a large amount of taxes each year. And that's one of the major qualifications that disqualifies them from getting a conventional bank loan. But what do you need to buy a home with an AITD? All you need is approximately 10% down of the value of the house that you're going to buy. Everything else is automatic. I want to spend also one moment just to identify that tax law that I mentioned previously. It's the name of the law is IRC, standing for Internal Revenue Code 121. This gives any homeowner selling a home that they've lived in for 2 years or longer the first $500,000 of profit on that home are completely free of state, federal, and capital gains taxes. Let's take a look at the quickest way to poverty today. It's simply, pardon me, simply lease a home. You're guaranteed to be approaching poverty with every additional month that you lease. If you were to go to Google and ask the question, and that's what this chart is really from, and this was only a couple of days ago that I asked the question, what is the average family's net worth if they own a home compared to that family that doesn't, that leases a home? This is so shocking, it's hard to believe, but this is right off the internet in its current national statistics. If you own a home, it's saying that your average net worth as a family is $5,100. That's not much more than a month and a half or 2 months of rent before a family could be homeless because something happened to their income stream that they couldn't pay the mortgage payment. Now, what about families that own homes? They're saying on a national basis, the average net worth of a family who currently owns a home is $174,500. That's huge. So the idea is that everyone needs to buy a home using an AITD, which everyone can qualify for, with the one single requirement is that you need to have accumulated or be in partnership with other family members in raising 10% down payment. Everything else is automatic. This is another little pyramid that's showing how do people lose dollars today. Well, you lose dollars by paying non-deductible lease payments. A family paying $3,000 a month is losing a $36,000 tax deduction. That if that same amount was paid on a mortgage, it would have been fully tax deducted from their gross income every year. Also, when you lease, you have no control. The rate keep increasing every time that lease is renewed. How do you gain wealth? Again, we buy properties with only a 12, 10, 12% down payment, no bank or credit approval, and all the interest and taxes become tax deductions off your current year's income. I want to show you a copy of a public notice here. This shows you when a notice of default is filed on your home. This is what the public record is going to show. It's going to identify the address, it's going to identify the owner, it's going to tell everyone what is the total amount of unpaid mortgage amounts that currently are there as a lien against your home. In this case, over $33,000. It's also down here going to provide us with a current market value of the home, a fair, current, full market price. When a buyer buys your home using an AITD, they will pay the full price. They will pay off your NOD here, and you will be relieved from all the stress that you've been dealing with the bank, and know that you're not going to have any kind of additional problems with the bank on that property at all. Next, let's take a look at the what we call an AITD is a pass it on mortgage. And let's just look at the four main parts of that. A buyer can use an AITD to purchase your home, and it's buying its current mortgage at the same time. A buyer will pay off the NOD, notice of default, amount on your property right away. Whether it's 10,000, 20, 30, 40,000, the buyer will be in a position to pay off that back debt. An escrow is opened on the property right at that same time so that your home is being sold to that new buyer at the fair current market value. The escrow company that we use for the AITD is also the third-party administrator. In other words, the buyer from that day forward will make all the payments on your mortgage, of course, the taxes, the HOA fees, the insurance, everything will be paid in a single check that's made payable to that escrow company. Here's a sample of the kind of worksheet that we do that will help you, the homeowner, identify exactly how much does that new buyer need to raise in capital to free your home from all of its current debt so it can be transferred to a new buyer. Here's the sample of what we call the letter of intent to purchase that property, and it shows all the estimates of all the separate items that are being paid to the escrow company to keep everything fully paid up to date on the mortgage. Where do you want to live next? Do you want to buy a home along the beach? These are a lot of the properties, again, all in pre-foreclosure. Cities from San Clemente up through Newport Beach, every city has properties that are in the category of pre-foreclosure. We're fully qualified, trained, and have the education and background to assist you in understanding your options of how to handle this NOD, how to sell your property and get out of debt and protect your family's credit. Take a look at some of our accomplishments, and hopefully they will give you the confidence to give us a call at one of these numbers. Call us, send us an email, just get in touch. There's no charge for our service. We will be fully paid by the buyer of the property. so that our services to you, the homeowner, with an NOD is completely free. Let us help you know your positive options to stop the stress, save your home, save your credit. We'll be glad to help you accomplish that. So thank you very much for watching. We appreciate the opportunity to be here with you and to meet you at some time here in the near future. Thank you.